One of the less obvious brainwashing techniques is group reinforcement. Belief is amplified by numbers. When you're surrounded by people who believe the same thing, it feels more true. It creates a social echo chamber. You don't even have to defend your beliefs. You just absorb them through smiles, nods, shared rituals, and the unspoken rule. Don't question too much. Community is powerful, and religions use it brilliantly.
Good morning, everyone.
Howdy! How's everybody doing today?
It's warm.
Yes, it is. It's turning summer real quick, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
What you guys think of that opening scene? How true that is. Okay? Before we get on to what else we want to share, I just want to invite you all to go and watch these videos. Okay, Kim's going to put a link down below. The opening clip was from the YouTube channel Cold Reason. The first one that I would recommend you to watch is Why Religion Exists.
That was a good one.
Number 2, Brainwashing Tactics by Religion, and that's the video that the opening clip was taken from. And number 3, Cults are Religions in Early Stages. Okay? It's very imperative that you go over there and watch those, just simply because you'll have a greater understanding how Watchtower was able to manipulate you. Okay? But I know what's going to happen. Some of the Christians in this community are going to lose their minds over this type of stuff because they're part of this cult system. If you don't think that this system that we're living in right now is not cultic by nature, then go over to the YouTube channel Myth Vision Podcast. He just put one up yesterday. Why I'm leaving the online atheist cult.
So it isn't just Christians.
It's not just Christians.
Atheists, everybody.
Everybody. And then, a fourth one, the YouTube channel Holy Kool-Aid. And this one is the surprising reason most religions fail. And multiple times he mentions Jehovah's Witnesses in this. It's really imperative that you understand how this is being done to you, because if you wake up from the Jehovah's Witnesses or any Christian belief system and come into a community, you're going to experience the same thing all over again. If you don't believe me, just go and watch Myth Vision Podcast. The atheists are doing the same thing to him that Christians in this community do to us. Don't watch their videos. They're anti-Semitic. But I have a question. How could you be anti-Semitic when I've shared scripture after scripture after scripture showing that the nation of Israel are God's inheritance? And the scripture I've shared before in Isaiah that Egypt was his people. How could you be an anti-Semitic talking about Israel when Moses got you to worship a copper serpent? How could you be anti-Semitic when Ezekiel 20:25 says that Jehovah, Yahweh, let them have bad regulations? Do you not see the conflict of ideologies?
Well, they'd rather attack us.
They would rather spend their time attacking instead of researching, and this is what Derek is referring to also. You're not going to get away from this cult identity because the whole online thing, by its very nature, TikTok included, is nothing but cult behavior.
Well, we even know that many will leave the Jehovah's Witness indoctrination and have their freedom and, oh, I'm a critical thinker now, my mind's clear, only to fall prey to another online social media cult.
Yeah.
And there's so many. It's too numerous to even mention. But, that's what, and there's a reason they call them influencers.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. They're influencing your thought processes.
And if they can get more views and more subscribers, that's all they care about.
That's all they
don't care about you. They don't care about the trauma you're going through.
They don't
that's all they're interested in is views and subscribers.
They don't really care about truth either, because think about this. Let's say you're the average Christian. you grew up in a Christian family and you were taught the whole mechanism of Christmas. Then you have a child or two, and then what do? As an adult, you know that the whole Santa Claus story is fake and false. But yet, what do? You lie to your children about Christmas. But here's the problem. Why can't you observe the controlling mechanism that you imply with your children regarding Christmas, but you can't see that that mechanism is being applied to you when it comes to Bible theology? I just can't coalesce with this stuff no more because it's so obvious. But we played that opening clip for a reason. Go ahead, Kim.
Now, you watched a video the other day by that woman.
Yes, Casey Malone.
Yeah, you've watched videos of hers before. And
Yes.
she was talking about a survey from the Pew Research Center. And I'm going to put the link down below to this also. If you click on religion and then click on religious landscape study, they have a map here and they've done a survey. Now, this is for the United States only. I'm sure they may have done one for the world, but this is for the United States only. Now, before I get into this, I want to mention that even Jehovah's Witnesses' latest yearbook, when they do the numbers, the grand totals, every year, the United States has had a negative growth, and I believe it's either -1 or -2 in even their own grand totals for the United States. There's been no growth in the United States, and I believe the UK and a couple of your other Christian, countries are in these same numbers. But this is interesting because this is a non-JW Pew Research Center, and we've done videos, from their graphs and numbers before. But this Casey Malone, she was going through this, and in the United States, 62% identify as Christians, 7% identify with other religions, 29% identify as religiously unaffiliated. That's a category I would be in. U.S. religious groups. Now you've got to see this because, Jehovah's Witnesses are included in these graphs. Okay? 62% Christians, they've broken that down. 23% are evangelical Protestant. 11% mainline Protestant. 5% historically black Protestant. 19% Catholic. The Latter-day Saints, Mormon, 2%. Orthodox Christian, 1%. Jehovah's Witnesses, -1%.
Dead last.
Yeah, like I mentioned, 35,000 Americans in all 50 states were asked about their religious affiliations, beliefs, and practices, along with their social and political views and demographic characteristics. And then you can read about their study.
But isn't it funny that even the evangelical Protestants can't get along with mainline Protestants? Go and watch those videos. Why religion exists, brainwashing tactics by religion, and cults are religions in early stages. You'll learn so much through those videos how these people manipulate you and why they divide.
Yeah. And we've been researching the mechanism for years.
For years. But hey, what do we know, right?
Now, when you look at this other side of the graph, other religions, 7%. Now, I was surprised because I thought the Muslims were going to be top because everybody kept saying they're like the top religion of the world. Jewish is 2%, Muslims only 1%, Buddhist 1%, Hindu 1%, other world religions -1%.
But isn't it interesting that if you look at the Jewish religion, they're doing better than Jehovah's. Isn't it interesting? When you look at Muslims, they're doing better than Jehovah's. So I got to ask you, Jehovah's Witnesses, what's the purpose of even going to your summer conventions?
So thank you for watching, and if you get a chance, click on these links and just check these things out. It is interesting. Even the religiously unaffiliated was at 29%. Atheists are only 5%. Agnostic, 6%. Nothing in particular. The one we're in is 19%.
Well, you know what? This brings to mind. When I was scrolling through my YouTube recommended lists, I didn't click on it, but I saw the title. Is there a new religion starting, the worship of the goddess? It's not new. I've shared the scriptures before. We were at peace worshiping the Queen of Heaven, and what God destroyed that peace? Yahweh did. Yahweh is the destroyer of peace. The goddess, those worshiping her at that time, were at peace. So this religion of worshiping the goddess isn't anything new. It's just coming back to the surface because everything else is failing.
But they use a bright colored thumbnail and a shocked face, and guess what? They get a gazillion views and subscribers. So.
Exactly.
Yeah. So thank you for watching. We appreciate all of you very much. And thank you for the birthday cards. That was very sweet. I appreciate them.
How old are you now? I forget.
None of your business. You don't even remember how old you are.
I try not
It doesn't
to remember
matter
that.
because it's not the years, it's the mileage.
mileage,
And I have
yes.
a lot of miles on me.
Yes, we do.
So you all have a wonderful week.
Bye.
Bye.